armor class?
Yes.
Okay, my plate mail's banged up then.
Yes.
Do we have any armorers in our party?
Looking here. Let's look at the old skills set. Blacksmithing and armor. Yeah.
Oh,
Armor,
cool.
yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Now we just need to find a forge.
Yep.
Does the magical armor get a saving throw?
Depends on what's causing damage. Like against acid, yes, it would have a saving throw against being destroyed. Okay, so picking up from last time, you have fought off the sand kegs. Some of them are larger than others. It's about. It's not early morning anymore. The sun has kind of risen to the point where you're starting to feel the heat of the day. And especially after this exertion against those creatures, you're all finding yourselves to be more tired than you might otherwise expect, and certainly more dehydrated.
Maybe we should hide out in this little cave for the day. The heat of the day, anyway.
Yeah.
Travel at night.
Yeah, or at least nearer to sunset, and then because the night will be cold. I'd rather have the cold. And
Yeah, so keep in mind that there is no roof on that that place. It's just sort of a loose wall that goes up 6 or 7 feet. So it's not likely to really give you much in the way of protection.
just looking at how it is and used in the past, does it have like holes where tent pegs have been, or like, just kind of guessing?
Yeah,
This is some kind of shelter.
It looks like there are places where if you had poles and a length of cloth or whatever, you could kind of hang up kind of a roof.
I'd like to search that wall over there, the north-south wall, one that stretches north to south. See if there's anything interesting.
Okay. Let's see here. The stones, the bricks are all made of some kind of you think red clay, but a cursory examination kind of shows you that there really isn't any kind of place where something might be hidden.
Well, do we want to head out a little bit before it gets hot, or are we? I mean, we barely just got started.
It's true.
Maybe we'd find a place nearby that's better shelter. This isn't going to help us much, I don't think.
I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
we better look around before the heat of the day forces us to sit around.
How far off is that
That's
village?
probably a good idea.
Oh, right. How far were we from that town, based upon our estimation?
You think it's probably well, actually, if anyone has distance sense, you can give me a roll.
Okay. I'll do that for distance sense. Tower. There we go.
Please, yeah. Yeah, Gummo, you think it's probably there is a bit of a trail, that you can see sort of heading off to the northwest. You kind of feel like if you were to travel in a straight line, not worrying about the trail, it's probably maybe 4 miles.
It's like 8 hours.
Why are we moving that slow?
Yeah.
So I'm easily
4
moving
miles
half a
should
mile.
take
an
about
hour.
2 hours.
Well, the message of the day says we half a mile an hour. Maybe the sand is not very amenable to moving fast.
And you also have to remember that unless you want to leave the slowest people behind, which I mean is certainly possible, but
See ya, Gummo.
Well, I'll just stay right here in the shade. I found a nice shady spot in the rock, on this rock, and I'll just follow it around as the sun moves. Yeah, I came over here. I didn't want anyone to see me taking off my helmet and like wiping all the sweat off.
Can I turn this off?
Shoot. Yeah, we definitely need some way to move faster.
Yeah, it's slow.
Is it really? Yeah, I'm sure I'm one of the slowest. Am I that slow? Dang.
yes, yeah, it is. It would be. It actually specifically gives me an example here of a dwarf.
Well, I have a movement of 12, so I also have a bonus for being a wanderer. I think I can move an extra 25% movement rate. I might be able to
Let
pump
me
it to
check.
town and bring back camels or something.
Let me check, James. I think I may have already added that in, but let me see.
Okay.
Maybe some kind of a large cloth to
Well,
make a tent or a
well,
tarp.
let's move for about like an hour, like half a mile, and see what we come across.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, and so are we following the wagon tracks? I mean, I could still see them. Right, there they
Let's
are.
do that.
Okay, so you head off to the north. Let's see here. This. Yes, and are you going to stay on the trail?
Probably be
think so.
wisest.
Yeah, I think we'll follow
Yeah.
the tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we might
that's a
run
good
across
idea.
some other travelers even. Might help out.
Oh, let's see here. Since okay, so Jeremiah tells you suggests staying to the path is probably the wise course of action. He kind of seems to think that the path itself has sort of been established on areas that have sort of the best footing in terms of the sort of semi-solid ground.
Makes
Movement rate?
sense.
No,
Oh, well.
but it doesn't get worse.
Maybe less
I'll
likely
take it.
to encounter nasty.
Pancakes. Yeah. Yeah, let's see how far down the road get in an hour. Yeah.
So yeah, so you can see while you're still sort of coming down from the heights a little bit, there is another trail sort of leading from the west to the sort of northeast. That also seems to be coming from the settlement. Let's see here.
You'll just keep heading west.
Can everyone give me a Constitution roll in the tower, please?
Oh, I thought you said prostitution. My apologies. That'll wait until we get to town.
We could get us some very large water skins there too, because we can make more water than we can probably carry right now.
Okay, so some of you are kind of feeling the exhaustion, and it's primarily those who are wearing metal armor. It really is uncomfortable. However, you are not at the point where like you can't move forward, kind of thing. So, and you continue on. Here, and let's see here. I'll kind of show you that the hilly range sort of extends to the south. Even that after after 8 hours, do you plan on stopping at all? You think there's probably like another mile.
I think we should press on.
Does anyone
Press on.
have any source of water or anything? I think
We
somebody
made a bunch. Yeah.
somebody made water in the morning,
Yeah.
so probably
Yeah.
have enough.
Yeah, we
Actually,
Makes like let me check it, but it's many square feet. So
I have 2 water skins, so if anyone needs any, you can have some of my water.
I have one. Yeah, I have 2 water skins too, actually.
Yeah, you guys would have gone through that, yeah, already.
Wow.
It's pretty warm.
Ooh.
I've got my flask of everlasting margaritas.
Delicious.
Okay, another hour, and you come closer to this settlement. Let's see here. You can see that there appears to be cobblestone streets of sorts, and adobe plastered stone buildings, or perhaps like made out of a combination of adobe stones and then kind of a wash with mud, which then dries and kind of makes it like a flat surface. The ashy sand, it continues right up until the edges of the settlement. There are a number of these strange broad leafy trees that you've seen before, with the very thin trunks and just the leaves at the top, that provide a little bit of shade depending on how big they are, and where the sun is. Let's see. So you can see as you come into town, on the south side, there is a large 4-story building, which seems to be made out of white marble. And at each corner is a little tower capped with an iron-shaped dome, onion-shaped dome. And there is some sort of a wall like a half wall or 5 or 6 foot wall around a portion of it. The rest of the settlement sort of seems to be buildings kind of built side by side, or indeed sort of right up against each other. And at the far north side of the settlement, there seems to be a dome-shaped structure of some kind, with some sort of a structure underneath the dome. And
Hey,
let's see.
John, after taking in the landscape and some of the architecture, Guntech is going to do an ancient history check. See if he can determine anything from that.
Okay. Yes. Well, Guntag has heard back home. You did hear of fantastical tales of a land that was cursed by something called the invoked devastation, where the peoples there were almost completely destroyed by great magics a long time ago, and so great was the destruction that the land was reduced to sand and ash, and most forms of life were destroyed, and it's very sort of dry and arid. And coming from where you do, the concept of a land that is completely dry and has next to no water or foliage or trees or whatever is sort of completely foreign to you. So you're kind of wandering around looking at basically a visual representation of the stories that you would have been told when you were growing up, kind of meant to scare young children, kind of thing.
Oh,
Do we see a well anywhere?
Next to that square building at the south, there does appear to be a well, a small one. Let's see here.
do we see any people milling about?
You do, as you come up, you do hear the sounds of like a baying cow. There does seem to be wind chimes, sort of tinkling, and the like. There's kind of a low level sort of hubbub of I guess maybe voices talking somewhere, but I mean it's very sort of indistinct. Like you can't really make out words. I'm just gonna put you all on the map here. Yes.
And those two large buildings, are they like at opposite ends of the town or the village?
Yes.
Okay. So
Do we
it's
see anything
probably
that
church and state.
do we see anything that might be a religious temple or
I think we did.
The 4-story
Right.
building, the marble building, I think. Might be.
Guntech is going to do a religion check, see if he can make out what religion it might be. Might be better if he goes inside though.
You know, I'm going to make that roll too. Why not?
I think we should be careful that not to. It would be easy to misunderstand local customs.
Yeah.
Wow. very bright out.
It is. It is, and the sand, the sand sort of forms small little dunes, as right up to the edges of the walkway, and you think that actually, at least outside, somebody must sweep the walkway to a certain point. Like it kind of, it just sort of starts out of. One like you're walking on this sort of quasi faint track, and then all of a sudden it's just like there's cobblestone, and for the first 20-30 feet or so, it's it's less complete. There's stones missing. It's a little uneven, and the like, and then it kind of smooths out the closer you get um, to the settlement. So just to give you a little bit of a, let's see here. This here is the large building that you saw, the 4-story building. The road that you see kind of continues on like that, and there also seems to be a crossroad like this. The big circular dome is over here to the north, and there seems to be some kind of a walled house there, and then of course there's buildings all through here, and as you've seen, sort of on the other side of the road as well. So you may, and the sun is still very bright. It's kind of you're having to squint because of the significance of the brightness.
1 second, gonna go towards the temple.
I'm gonna go find that well.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you come to the crossroad here, you can see the road continues on to the west until it exits the settlement. Again, there's sand dunes and trees and the like. Well, let's see here. This is a description of the big building that you're standing in front of. And next to the building, there is a stone well with a big winch and a wooden bucket hanging from the winch. And the ground around the well looks like there's tracks of all sorts of feet, and some sandaled, some bare, and even some strange footprints that you think might be of some kind of an animal.
Okay. Well, it looks. Is there anybody out and about?
At the top of the steps, there are 4 men on at guard. They let's see. They have I guess you could say kind of almost like a brigandine armor, mostly leather with bits of studded leather, and small sections of their body covered with chainmail, sort of like at the joints and the like. they have what appears to be curved long swords at their waists, and they all carry long spears with a strange broad-bladed point with a cross hilt, and their heads are covered with long scarves that are brought up over the bottom half of their face as well. So all you can really see is kind of like their eyes, and they are watching as you stumble into town after 8+ hours of walking through the hottest part of the day.
Tourists.
So how
In
far
heaven.
away are they from Gummo right now? So I'm at the edge here of the steps.
Oh yeah,
Are they-
well, they're
Mhm.
kind of to either side of you, I guess we would say.
Okay. I will say, uh, greetings of the Most High. Do you speak common?
Let's see here.
Guntag would also like to know if he can make anything out with
That would
carvings
be,
in the ancient alphabet.
let's see. You're just trying common, right?
So far, yep.
I'll try speak to them in Sul.
You know Sewell?
Yes.
Cool.
I'm of Sul descent.
Oh,
Even though I look like a half orc, my wild magic converted me.
could you ask if it's permitted for us to drink from the well?
Yes, that was my thought too.
Okay, cool. I didn't want to do it until we
Guys, to let's see here. Surprised I don't have this, but
see what I have here. You know what?
go. Okay.
Excuse me a minute. I gotta go check on something. I'll be right back.
Word. The guards kind of look at each other, and look back at Banathor, and one of them responds.
Sounds
Oh,
very ornate and squiggly.
yeah, they're not fond of the Sul because they're the ones that caused the devastation here.
Oh, great.
Whoop.
That
I tell them that I'm speaking that tongue, but because I'm not sure what other tongues we may share, and is it permitted for us to drink of the water? We have traveled during the day and are very dehydrated.
Okay, I'm back. Do they recognize the
Yeah,
common?
I'm not actually half orc. My magic has transmuted me, and I haven't fixed it yet. So it was an unfortunate surge of magic that caused me to change to this form.
an unfortunate workplace accident in the fantasy realms.
I don't hem and haw. I just start drawing up some water. I think it's a safe bet that this is not going to be an uncommon thing for people to want in town.
Okay, so they say we can drink, but don't overindulge.
Yes.
Well, I guess I filled
May
my
the
water.
blessings of the Most High be upon you.
I
Say in
thank them
common. I have no idea what they're.
and ask if are there any mounts available for traveling the desert. And does anyone have any maps of the area? Because we are strangers, we're lost. Yeah, we were transported from magically from far away. From near the great city of Greyhawk.
Maybe we shouldn't be giving them all this information.
Well,
I don't know. My default to the truth if there's no reason not to.
The truth is okay, but maybe not the whole truth.
Yeah, it's not like they're coming at us with spears drawn.
Yes, it's not. It wasn't within our powers. It was an accident.
yeah, perhaps tell them, in fact, we were chasing after our lost mounts, which is what we have none. It's having mounts is definitely a universal sign of being in the more respectable classes.
Yeah.
Okay, so with this particular, he gestures up the street to the north with his spear.
Okay, he says that mounts can be bought at the market, and he's pointing. Yeah.
But he also raises his other hand.
Is he gesturing to someone else, or
No, he's
raises his other-
gesturing to Banathor.
What's he indicating?
He's you get the impression that he's trying to use words that perhaps he's not exactly precise on the meaning of the words, because he seems to have kind of switched between sort of very general conversational, and now he seems to be trying to speak with a little more precision, which is not necessarily
working out.
easy for him.
Well, I'll shift into Old Iridian and see if he understands that.
And with this, rather than gesturing up the street to the north, he gestures across the street to the northeast at the building surrounded by the walls and the the trees and the like. Yes.
Okay, he says that the Grand Vizier may want to speak with us. And our miniature man.
Excellent.
think he means you, Gummo.
Okay. Yeah, why don't we fill our
For
water?
the half when you said that, that's funny.
I'm gonna take a drink before I go up.
I refill my water skins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we mosey on through, see if we can.
Are we gonna head for the Grand Vizier and speak to him?
Yeah.
Maybe stick to the shade if we can.
Is it this way? Where's the entrance?
Northeast.
It's up this street.
Where's the entrance? Is that the entrance right here? I see a couple pillars there.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, guys, over this way.
Okay, I went too far.
Oh, that's interesting. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of.
Oh, he named the town. It's called Bralazar. Bralazarl.
Bralazarl. All right, so we're going to speak to the Grand Vizier of Bralazarl. That's noteworthy.
Sounds good to me.
Oops. I should have said that in common.
So you walk over here and kind of look at from the street. You can see a house, again, made of adobe, with sort of a mud wash kind of thing. It's a small 2-story house. The stonework that you do see has a pale blue tinge to it. The conical roof gleams with a gold tint, and then the gardens all surrounding the house are full of flowers and trees and bushes of the kind that you think must be very difficult to grow and maintain in this environment. The wall is about 14 feet high, of bricks, and the gateway that you've just kind of opened is onion shaped, and the gate is an ornamental wrought iron.
Fancy.
Windows, oval.
I take it they don't get a lot of rain around here.
We going in?
Uh-huh. Yep. Oh. Is there anyone outside the door?
No, there is not.
Wonder how you knock.
Everyone's inside. Well, first test, do we knock? Yeah.
As Anathor, as you walk up the path to the front door, you hear a distant chime that sounds kind of like one strike of like a gong or something, just sort of low and muffled.
I guess they know we're here.
Yeah. I'll knock on the door.
After a short time, the door, you hear a couple of locks being unlatched, and the door, which is painted a combination of a sort of a turquoise blue and like an aquamarine green sort of with hints of like yellowish gold. And it looks like it was carved a long time ago. But of course, it's seen hard times and the like. The door sort of cracks open a couple of inches, and you see you can see somebody looking out through the crack in the door at you with a big eye, with a bushy white beard and kind of scraggly white hair, sort of sticking up in all directions. Who is it? What do you want?
Is that what is that in common?
Yes,
Wow,
it's
okay.
common.
Um, greetings, sir. Yes, you go ahead if you'd like.
Oh no, go ahead. You.
Okay, we seek audience with the Grand Vizier.
I see you by the looks, and the door opens a little bit farther, and you see an older gentleman wearing robes that at one time would have been quite regal and fine, but over time they've kind of become faded a little bit and a little frayed at the ends. But he kind of draws himself up to his full about 5'6" or so, and says, "You and your companions, do not appear to be from Bralazar."
No,
We are not, sir. Yes. We are in fact lost.
We're from far away. What can you tell us of this area? We're strangers here.
Well, please. I was expecting you, strange as that may sound. I read the signs and the portents, and it said that ones such as you would soon arrive and seek out assistance, but in turn also provide assistance. So please come in. I am Aman al-Rakib. I am the Grand Vizier of Bralazar.
Pleased to meet you, Aman al-Rakib. I am Banathor.
Something tells me that you are something other than what you appear to be.
Yes, you're quite perceptive. I am not of this race. I'm actually a human mage, I think, maybe such as yourself.
I, however, am what I seem, which is a dwarf dying in the heat in plate mail.
Yes. Come in. Definitely come get yourselves out of the heat, please. And he
Sounds good.
he sort of stands back and gestures for you to come inside.
Is there a door, John?
Yeah, I mean you guys are at it, but there is no real door on the map.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Just a new map.
yeah. So it's a long and narrow house. It's mostly completely open inside. At one end there's a staircase leading up to the second floor, but the ground floor is kind of on one side. There appears to be a rudimentary sort of kitchen area, and then the rest of the main floor is it has like a couple of sofas and high back chairs, and there's bookshelves lining the walls, and tables with with books open on them and all sorts of stuff just kind of strewn all over the place. Scrolls lying open, stacks of books, and little statues of strange contraptions and the like. And he said, "Please come in, sit down." And he kind of just sort of wiggles his fingers, and a bunch of books kind of just levitate off of one of the sofas and land on the floor next to it. And there's a dust sort of flies up from everything. So you kind of get the impression that visitors are not too frequent in here.
Okay, I'll seat myself in the sofa.
Seat myself anywhere available.
So, if I would hazard a guess, I would say most of you are from the central and Flaness, not nowhere near here. Pointing at Guntag, he says, "You appear to be from the jungles far to the south." And at Diesel, this is a barbarian from the far north, by the looks of him. And at Island Eye, one of the older elves. And at Gummo, well, I'm not quite sure which mountain range spawned you, good sir.
Well, the mountains I come from are they're definitely much colder than these and covered with snow. And
please
We're
make
not even
yourself.
sure where we are at this point, so maybe you can help us with that.
Well, why? You are in the lands known as the Sea of Dust. I would wager many hundreds of miles west of wherever it was you began your journey. And the signs and the portents said that people would arrive through magical means. How did you come to find yourselves here?
Quite by accident.
Yeah, it was a magical device was activated and we're sucked into a vortex that brought us here from near Narwhal.
yeah, just north of it. Yep.
Banathor, you're although you're, as you said, your appearance is otherwise. You have a slight Sewell background to your accent. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is my ancestry.
And what was this magic that changed you to appear as your current brutish form?
Well, I am a student of wild magic, and so sometimes there are unfortunate side effects to wielding that.
I see.
How about you? What is your specialty in magic?
Well, it's been such a long time. I guess you could say that I know a little bit about everything. People hereabouts refer to me as the Grand Wizard, and I would say that that's probably simply because I'm the only wizard in these parts, so it's not difficult. However, you likely must be very tired. How long of a walk did it take for you to get here, and where did you arrive?
We arrived to the east. It took us about 8 hours to get over here. We came out of some underground cavern manned by scorpion men.
And seeing as you're a scholar, if you would like us to sketch a map, it would do us both some good. We would like that too. I have
I know
skill.
I know the caves of which you speak, Vanathor. That you did well to leave those caves as quickly as you did. For the Scorpion men do not tolerate trespassers.
Yeah,
in
their hospitality left a lot to be desired.
From what we could see, I think they were the trespassers too. They didn't create those caves.
No,
Yeah.
those caves were from many hundreds of years ago. Likely, as near as I can tell, that they were part of some sort of a temple complex leading back all the way, perhaps to the reign of colorless fire and the devastation. They are quite ancient.
We did note a column there with the symbol of Al Akbar on it, the 8-pointed star.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. Vanathor, are you content in your current form, or would you consent to perhaps some assistance?
Yes, I would like to return to my normal form. I'd appreciate any help you could render.
See, perhaps tomorrow, perhaps we can try. But please, avail yourselves of the hospitality of my home. Although, be careful, don't open anything, and be careful what you read, because just you know how things go. But rest, and I will head out. And wasn't expecting you this quickly, but I will get some food and return shortly. But consider yourselves guests in my home.
That's very generous.
For the hospitality.
A most gracious Grand Vizier, and perhaps then you will tell us of the assistance it was foretold.
Would you happen to have a gazetteer or map we could peruse while you were out?
Let me see. He starts rummaging through stacks and piles of parchments and the like. Maybe we could take 5 minutes here.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to dig through all those stacks. Yeah. Yeah. But that's all right. Yeah, this is most welcome indeed, right? We've found some kind of ally. We don't know what what the assistance is that he's expecting.
I'm just happy to be out of the sun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
may
it's
help
getting
me regain my
Return
original
your-
form. Yeah.
Yep.
So
We can get
Shake the sand out of my
map.
boots.
Yeah, that sand gets everywhere.
And we can find out how he knows common and other. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, in its own, because he doesn't
Very
appear
well.
to be same as the guards, right? I take it he looks different.
Well, we're lucky to have found him so quickly.
Yep.
I wonder if he has any idea how we can get back home. As charming as this place is, I'll be happier once we get normal mountain ranges around us.
Yeah, we'll be okay once we get some camels and those some local garb. Trying to think of the name of those one-piece garments.
Might need something else for armor too.
Yeah.
I don't think this plate's gonna hack it.
Well, at least he'll give us the lay of the land, hopefully.
It's a good start. Better than we were doing last night.
Wonder how they support themselves out here. It's pretty slim pickings, it looks like. Guess they've got some cattle. They must be pretty robust.
Water.
Camel meat.
Huh. Maybe it's on a trade route or something.
Hey everyone, I'm be back with you shortly. Apologies, everyone. I'm just trying to find something here, and I'm getting these strange pop-ups.
I believe. That was I believe.
Okay. So after a bunch of rummaging, he finds something that he says, "Well, this is as good as anything, I suppose." And let's see. Whoops. There we go. And let's see here. And he shows you a bit of a map that kind of leaves you not really much wiser. He says, "So this is us here," and he points to a little place.
Wow.
And kind of at the edge of a large, you would call it like a mountain range. And he says, "So we are about 70 miles,
They know exactly what it is.
70 miles."
Okay. 70 miles from. Oh, and what is that exactly? Is that a
70 miles.
valley?
70 miles that way. You would have to travel back the way you came
This is going to Canada.
to get out of these lands of dust. To the west is the Mahiri range. To the southeast is the Punpir Mountains, and to the north and the east, and even to the west, are the lands known as the Sea of Dust.
Um, and what, sir, is this? Is that a body of water? A depression?
There is at times some water there. It is a large lake which only fills extremely infrequently. Like people may travel there through there for years without seeing water. It was very infrequent, very infrequent.
Okay. Perhaps an ancient lake bed. May we make a copy of this map? I happen to have checking my inventory.
Most certainly.
Thank you.
So, what was the thing that we could aid you with? We appreciate your hospitality. Mentioned that there was something we might be able to help you with, and that it was foretold that we would appear. Curious about
Yeah,
that.
you said
First-
something about some mutual assistance.
First things first. Let me go and get some food. I'm sure you're probably all famished and hungry, and we can talk later about such things.
Okay.
At the very least, Banathor, allow me to try and return you to your natural appearance.
Ah, yes, that'd be much appreciated.
Um,
Yes, please.
and then he just kind of gestures around and says, "Please, there's room for everyone." And then he kind of goes out, closes the door, and through a window you can see him walk down the path to the road, and the gate swings shut behind him.
Okay.
The inside of the house is quiet. It's rather cool in comparison to what you're accustomed to. There is a slight breeze that seems to blow through the house, but yet the breeze is brings cool air as opposed to hot and dry.
Wow.
What do you do while you wait for him to return, if anything, other than just rest?
I will refrain from snooping around.
As much as I'm tempted to check out his library, I'm gonna wait too.
I'd say it's fair game to if there's any titles on the spines of the book without having to open them. Just to
Sure. I mean,
look at them, right?
if you can read, then you can certainly take a look at the spines.
Just to see what his interests are.
So there's a lot of books about history. Um, uh, you would think like about plants and herbalism. Uh, Kind of gazetteers about countries that look like they're quite old. All sorts of stuff, and there's a place where there's a bunch of books that look like they might be journals of some kind. Um, each book has kind of a date on the spine, denoting years, and they kind of start about 65 years ago, and
Yeah.
the books start off really sort of vague and thick, and the closer to the current date that they get, they're kind of smaller, and then some of them have more than 1 year on the spine.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see.
And he's a human, right? This is a human.
Yes, he is.
Graham's wondering what's a vizier. Is anyone familiar with that kind of? I mean, was that like a mayor?
I think he told us by accident.
I think
that
it said the wizard.
wizard.
He's a grand wizard, but he's the only wizard around, is what he said.
Huh.
But he,
And let's see, Banathor and Islandai, give me a spellcraft roll, please, in the tower. And actually, anyone else who has it too, for that matter.
I don't know if I do. I am but a priest
Sorry, what did you want to roll
Like,
for?
Spellcraft?
Oh, nope.
I just pray for my spells.
I'm going to continue to shake the sand out of my boots out the window.
Okay,
I
good
do
idea.
appreciate his fine cartography.
Sure. So, Benathor, you have a feeling that somehow you're there is another presence in this house besides the 8 of you.
Hmm.
You've kind of noticed a couple of times, sort of like just like an impression of movement out of the corner of your eye that that is not there when you sort of turn your head to look at it. You don't feel uncomfortable or anything, just you have noticed it a couple of times.
Yeah, I can imagine. He's a wizard.
Yeah, don't
Could
pop
he
the
have
spoons.
like a familiar friend? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just keep an eye out.
Sure.
See if I can.
So about 20 minutes later, Island Eye, you're sort of still knocking the sand out of your clothes and your boots, and the gate swings open, and the man comes back, and he has there's a couple of other women with him, and they're carrying these broad, sort of vaguely oval shaped boards that have um, uh, plates and pots and all sorts of things balanced on them. And he walks up to the house, and the door opens in front of him, and he gestures over to the kitchen area, and he says something that none of you understand, some kind of a language that none of you know. And the women walk over and put these platters down, and then he gives each of them a handful of coins, and they bow at him and leave, and go back outside, and the gate closes once they're through it. And he looks around and says, "Well, by all means, let's eat, please. I'm sure this will be better than whatever you've been living on the last few days."
That
Yeah,
wouldn't
the
be
dead
too much.
scorpion people.
And these plates are full of a bunch of different things. There's some kind of um, looks like olives in some kind of a reddish sauce. There's marinated peppers and mushrooms and slices of some kind of meat. Um, it looks like cheese, uh, hunks of bread, all sorts of stuff. None of it looking particularly familiar to most of you.
So, well, I'm adventurous, so I'll give it a try. Kind of look to our host for any cues or whatever. And are there any utensils or is
Oh,
grabbing
he
at the
picks
bread or
a stack of old chipped plates.
okay?
And he takes the top one and looks at it and frowns and kind of wipes it against the side of his robes and looks at it again and says, "Yeah," kind of nods, and then starts putting food on his plate. And he turns to you, and he pops some of it in his mouth and starts eating and smiles and says, "Please, please,
Right?
I understand the ways of the world."
Happily follow suit.
Yeah, Graham will eat.
Right. So you pass the next hour or so, um, eating and drinking your fill. There's an interesting some kind of um, a creamy milk-like substance that tastes a little bit like goat cheese, and some kind of with garlicky taste and smell. He tells you that it's a local delicacy, made from camel's milk and a few some spices and other things local to the area. Um,
Okay, dig in.
Yeah.
the He seems to be very interested in where you're all from, and again, he asks how you managed to find yourselves here. He says he knows that you told him before that you were sort of transported magically, but um, he inquires again as if you have sort of any knowledge of how or why that happened.
Well, we were trying to bring a fugitive back, and then he had some device that he activated that created a
Sucked everything.
vortex that pulled us in. Pulled us in. Also brought a troll that we were fighting through, and then we appeared in the ruin with the scorpion men.
It's very interesting. The signs and the portents said nothing about how you would arrive, simply that you would. So I am
I'm very
somewhat
curious how he reads the portents. This is uh something I do from a religious perspective to read omens, and I wonder if it's the same process.
Oh, well, yeah, he has in one corner he has a table which is about um it has like a most of it is a bowl in the center. The table's about 3 feet by 3 feet. Most of it is this round sort of bowl shape, and then he has a bunch of um, uh, stones and shapes and the like, stacked up alongside, and he tells you that he throws the stones and interprets the results, and if the stones are ambiguous, he casts more stones to try and narrow down um, additional information. I said, but the portents that told me that someone would be here would come. Um, they started as a very simple question, and uh, before I knew it, I had cast all the stones that I have available to me. And even then, it did not tell me about how um, uh, such a group of individuals might arrive here.
Perhaps you could tell me more about my future.
Island
Yeah,
Eye.
we'll happily trade our past. We'll tell you of our past if you can tell us of our future.
Island Eye should. Well, let's see. And he casts some stones. he says that your future, much like the rest of your party, heavily relies upon the decisions that you will make over the next couple of days. For beyond that, the what is foretold is very much in flux and undecided, but much will be decided in the next several days.
That was satisfactorily vague.
Let's see here.
But that's what I assumed anyway, that a lot depends on our decisions.
So he tells you that he has been researching, and let's see here. The portents foretell of a group of heroes, he says, who will act at a time of both great need and unknown need. That they will act largely in private and in secret, with precious few to witness their heroic deeds, but yet heroic their deeds must be, otherwise the sea of dust may in fact expand to cover a significantly bigger portion of the Flaness. And he looks at you and he says, I believe, based on what you've told me and the time that you arrived, that you are the heroes foretold. So it is not me so much that needs help, your help. It is the future of what could be or what should be requires you to act in support of what is needed right now.
So is there any
Okay.
any details on the threat, that what may be causing the expansion of the Sea of Dust?
He tells you that many years ago, a long time ago, going back to the time just after the invoked devastation, there was a he's not really sure what to call him. Some might say an overlord or a king, or suffice it to say a leader of some sort. When he died, his people locked away a magical gem in his tomb, and the gem was but one of a set that would be required to counteract what the seers and wise men of the time, those that remained, saw as a potential threat to existence at some time in the future. And he believes that such a time is drawing near. And the people of Bralazar are a simple desert folk. They have no stomach and no skill for these types of things, to enter the tomb of a long dead king or leader, and bypass whatever traps or protectors will have been set there against future incursions, to bring out the gem that he needs. However, he would like to ask you if you would be willing to try. In return, he will provide you with a safe place to stay in Bralazar here within his home for as long as you're here. He will try to return Banithor to his natural appearance. He will offer to teach Banithor and Island Eye a spell each.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Well, I'm willing to try, but I'm wondering if you can offer any kind of healing for us if we come back injured. It's not gonna prevent us from helping, but I'm just curious.
Or can we avail ourselves of the services of the healers in the town? Is there a temple?
He tells you that the domed structure at the north end of town is the Temple of Anu. That it is a part of a sort of a bit of a forgotten religion amongst the people of these parts. However, there may be a priest there who would be willing to help you. However, he tells you that there are two sects that live in the area. One sect still worships Anu. The other sect looks upon Anu and the worshippers as sort of perpetuating the long distant practices that led to the invoked devastation. So from time to time there is, he says, friction between the two. So normally it is best to go there at night.
Gotcha.
I would
That
al-
may be a good option, but we may have to do some services for them also, which not
if you-
necessarily a bad thing. Just thinking
if
out
you,
loud.
if you tell them that you are friends of mine, that should not be necessary.
Um,
That's good to know. Thank you.
Now he
Um,
says that if travel through these lands is obviously not easy, as I'm sure you realize at this point, having come down from the pass, there are beasts called camels, which can be purchased in the bazaar, which is sort of to the northwest of here. There is also a few other businesses there. There is a there's the Inn of the Golden Palm. Should you decide you want more privacy than I can give. There's even all sorts of things at the bazaar. You're more than welcome to go and take a look.
Do they have an armorer?
Or even a forge. We can use the forge.
I believe that there would be an armorer. About the most that anybody wears in these here parts would be like partial chainmail as a warrior. It is simply just sort of too hot to walk around
I wonder.
in metal. But there is a blacksmith of sorts. I'm thinking that perhaps if he's unable to work on your armor, that you may be able to reach an agreement with him to use his facilities.
I am bursting with curiosity, Grand Vizier Aman al-Rakib. You are clearly a worldly man. You greet us in our own tongue and are familiar with the whole earth. And how did you come to be in this place? And how were you chosen to bear witness of this prophecy? What's your story?
Well, when I was a much younger man, I spent my youth much as the 8 of you appear to be doing. But there came a time where such pursuits were starting to get beyond me, and I spent some years studying with a learned sage, and developing my skill as sort of I guess an omen or a reader, as you might say. And one of those omens indicated that the rest of my days should be spent in Bralazar. Now, the omen didn't specifically say Bralazar. However, through many weeks of searching and going over maps and written histories and the like, it seemed that Bralazar was the only settlement that was right. So here I am.
Indeed, fortune has favored us.
Out in the middle of nowhere. Now, at the end, should you be successful and the omens be proven right, should you be successful, I will be able to assist you in returning to this place that you came from. I believe you said Narwhal.
Well, that is the best thing I've heard so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Now, if we were to stay at your place, would take up your wonderful offer, would we have separate rooms or is this a common room? I'm just a little bit confused about that. I would like someplace quiet to study my spell book.
Yeah, there are a number of rooms upstairs. A couple of them.
Okay.
Or you may stay down here, or you may go to the inn. The inn, you will likely be sources of interest for the local people, because we do not often see strangers here who are so obviously not from around these parts. But if you're willing to put up with that, I mean, they will see you when you go to the bazaar, anyways. That may or may not work in your favor as you try to buy supplies.
How
You
far is our
also
trip?
mentioned that the stone that we need to find, this gem, it would be in the tomb of a long dead king or leader.
Yes.
And on the map that I've made a copy here of your map. Is it? Uh, can we place the old the temple of Azaralk and Al Akbar, right? The where the Scorpion Men now hold sway. Can you pinpoint that on the map for us? Just point to it here so we can mark it, and then this other place, where is that?
Let's see here. I can't find the
Yeah.
damn map.
He's rummaging, right? It's like got lots and lots of books. Like,
Yes. So, right. So he kind of tells you that. So what you might be looking for here is, let's see, like that.
and this
So
weird dotted line is some kind of a valley. Is that where the Sea of Dust?
That's sort of-
kind of considered the border. So he tells you that there is sort of there is a long trade route that he kind of draws on through the mountains that kind of goes like that.
Oh, nice!
And
Wow. Okay.
and he tells you that there's another the sort of travel route that leads north deeper into the Sea of Dust, and that is the way that you need to go. Now let's see here. It says
We could have been too far.
I can give you. Kind of looks and rummages through more stacks. And he brings out an old leather, thin leather scroll rolled up, and he says, "You may take this." And he gives it to you. It's a very thin piece of leather, kind of like nowadays, we like a thin piece of leather that you'd have on a sofa kind of thing. Sort of thin, supple. You can roll it up real easy. And he tells you that this is north of here. There's a big, not really mountain range, but a range of rock and shale and hills that needs to be traveled through. And this leather map depicts the area north of there.
Okay.
And he gives you another one. He says, "Oh yes, this you would probably want to have this. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty confident that this may make sense for you sometime in the future." And he gives you this as well.
Amon Ray. All right. And
He
this
said
is
this.
where we get this.
It is
Uh-huh.
interesting that all those years ago, even after the Invoked Devastation, they somehow knew or had the ability to sort of draw something from the a top down view.
Hmm.
And
They flew overhead.
looking at the map that he's given you of the desert, um, he tells you that the big serpent is it represents um, a kind of a minor sort of mountain range, and it's useful because it kind of would sort of give you um, a landmark to sort of judge your surroundings against. And he tells you that this southmost section is an old ruined sunken city claimed by the Sands, as much as he's been able to figure out. The two to the north, so these here are oases. So these are places where there is water. And this, he's not sure what that's supposed to represent. But he tells you that this here is supposed to be the tomb that you must enter and bring back the stone.
Okay. And that would be the tomb of Amon Ray, right? That would okay. Wow. Everything is very clear, and you're obviously well prepared for this mystery.
I have I've had many years to research, and these maps cost me dearly in terms of coin.
Well, I, for one, being a great appreciator of maps and a cartographer, and finding this to make our strange trip worthwhile.
He tells you the only thing is, of course, is that there are no indicators of distances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll need we'll need tents and such
Yeah.
umbrellas to protect against the sun.
What about a guide?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there
we
anyone
need
who knows the desert?
Who would he recommend? Yeah.
Interesting. He tells you that there is. He tells you that there are caravans that from time to time head over the mountain pass to trade with small settlements far to the north, and that you may be able to find a guide, or you may be able to travel with one of the caravans for a time. That's up to you. He tells you that it is sort of semi unfortunate, or perhaps very unfortunate, that You these caravan operators have a bit of a reputation um, for being good good actors until you get out into the deeps of the desert, and then um, the price goes up, or some other such thing. So he suggests that be wary of.
Do any of the caravans hire on guards to help them protect them going through the desert?
It's not common, simply because I mean, they've already got these things set up, but you might want to go over to a place called the Swayback Camel. It's
Sounds like a brothel.
it's a drinking establishment where a lot of these caravanners frequent. And you may be able to ask. It's, I believe, it's north of the bazaar.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Speaking of north, is on this map, is the convention north is up?
Yes.
The map. Okay. So I'm just looking at if we have to head north to go where we're going. So at some point, we're going to head south again, right? From the known route from the top to come down, or else why wouldn't
So on
Unless-
the overland map,
mhm.
he's kind of indicating that you would be traveling in this direction, and then north through the mountain range. And he definitely suggests that you find some sort of animals to ride, and you definitely carry food and shelter and water.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get very like one of those gigantic leather water sacks. I think would be so I'm just wondering, I'm looking at the maps, and is this the dragon that's a mountain range on the map of the desert, this is that the same as this area here, right by the and to the north of the path going to the northeast, there's a section of mountains that looks like it.
No. That's north of the wall. He kind of calls it. You must pass through the mountain range before this map
Because,
that sort of becomes
relevant.
relevant. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
What is the cost of camels, roughly? Here, do you know?
Maybe
Yeah.
everything else is measured in camels.
That is something you will want to explore in the morning at the bazaar.
Good night's rest sounds great.
Yes.
So you find that the late afternoon and evening that you spend talking, you've all regained some hit points. Everyone who's been wounded got back 4. You're all quite tired, and as night comes, he has a big, almost like a brazier in the middle of the house, and he starts a fire in it, and that keeps the interior at a comfortable temperature. But anyone who goes near a window can tell that again it's getting cold outside.
The desert does get cold at night.
Cool. Yeah, we'll find a nice spot around the brazier, and
How long do we have
Um,
before we have to launch off on this quest? Because we have to get some supplies and.
yeah, I think that's
he
the
would,
next thing.
he would think take a couple of days to get your supplies um, and rest up, and certainly he needs to try and change Banathor back, and spend some time teaching Banathor and Island Eye spells. Um, but a week.
That's good. I have to check. Graham's interested in finding out what kind of armor everybody's wearing in this area because plate's probably not going to cut it out there.
I hate that. So what must be must be, right?
Need
Yeah,
some
That's a
scorpion
downgrade.
armor.
yeah, that'd work.
Guys, I'm going to need another 5 minutes here. So maybe we'll come back at about 9:35 Eastern or so.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks.
just thinking. So we'll need camels, tents, giant water bladders, local garb, right? For
What's our
traveling.
money? What's our money situation? My
Yeah.
Graham's not heavy on coin.
No, neither am I.
you're welcome to sleep wherever you want. Everything is comfortable. In the let's see here.
And I think that's fine. I could go out in the early morning and pray in the walled garden. It's a very peaceful, private spot. Yeah.
Absolutely, everybody can. Anyone who's hurt can get. I guess you guys can't make those adjustments.
I think we can change the wounds.
Yeah, most of you are fully healed from the physical wounds, anyways. After that, anyone who has spells wants to rememorize them or do any casting, you can. At night passes, and let's see, the day. Let's see here. The morning comes along, and the air coming in to the house starts to warm up. But again, the inside of the house never seems to get above a temperature that is comfortable for you. And in the morning, he comes back downstairs and he gestures to Banithor and he says, "May I try to restore your appearance?"
Yes, please. Go ahead.
So he starts casting a spell, and let's see here. Where are those tables? Dwayne, give me one of those random rolls on a level 5 table.
Okay, for the wild magic.
Yes.
Oh, I have to load Toma magic. Okay.
Okay.
You don't turn into a fish. Maybe dry up there for you.
Turn into a sand keg. Be like,
Scorpion Man.
our mount problem is solved. Get on Banithor cakes back. Now he can spit acid. Be pretty cool.
Banithor, you feel sort of the magic of whatever spell he's casting kind of courses over you, and you can at some point you kind of feel it sort of start to shift and change, and you can see that his brow becomes sort of furrowed in confusion or concentration or perhaps both. And his spellcasting gestures become sort of a little more urgent and quick, and all of you hear a loud boom from outside, so loud and so close that the walls shake, and everything on tables kind of jumps, and some stuff falls over and rolls off the tables and lands on the floor and everything. And you all kind of look around, and then all of a sudden, there's the sound of kind of like crashing water or waves, and you look out the windows, and all of a sudden, despite the fact that the sky is sunny and bright, there is a torrential downpour coming down just over the house. And
Definitely uncork the water skin.
it's flooding the land inside the walls and flowing out through the gate into the street beyond.
Damn it, Panther! What'd you do?
Not me this time.
And this lasts for about 9 minutes, and then it just stops. And looking out the windows, like the bushes outside in the walled garden, all seem to have grown about a foot, and the leaves are all sort of bright green, and some of the bushes now have strangely colored berries and fruit growing on them. And you can see at the end of the walkway through the gate, there's a whole bunch of people kind of peering around the sides of the wall, just kind of staring in, kind of wondering what the hell's going on. And they're all standing in water, kind of up to their ankles. And you could hear the excited voices of many people chattering back and forth to themselves in a language that you do not understand from the road. And the wizard kind of frowns and says, that shouldn't have happened. That's something that the locals will talk about for years to come. Vanathor, could you feel when it started to go wrong?
Yeah, I felt something.
I take it this is maybe not a common occurrence for you, but it happens often enough that you have to worry about it. Yes.
Yes.
I see. We shall try again tomorrow if you're willing, of course.
Yes.
I think perhaps this time, maybe we should go outside into the dunes and be a little safer out there.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Sure. So, absolutely, you guys can head to the bazaar if you want to kind of do some shopping. I'm not really sure how much money you all have.
We don't have much.
That's we were wondering, do we need local currency, or I wonder if the Grand Vizier would know, will they accept these foreign coins? By weight, or
They'll accept them by essentially by weight kind of thing. Absolutely.
Okay. So, yeah, I just threw in a list of things I was thinking of. Right, so we got the camels. There's tents or shade cloths. Even if we could just get a big square that we could like attach, and that in that little rest area, to make a roof only. Giant water bladders when we get a camel, like so we could take lots of water with us, enough for the whole party. Because I think I can make more water than we can carry in our individual water bladders. Yeah. Guide, yeah. And then maybe some proper clothing for the desert. And yeah.
Yeah, Gunther would like
Maybe we can get a magic carpet so we don't have to walk.
Well, I think the Grand Vizier would know more about that. We should ask if he's got one.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah.
Gunther would like to see if he can pick up a Morning Star.
Okay, sure. So you guys can go out and head over to the bazaar and see what you can find.
And Gunther would also like to point out to the party that he does have a bag of holding, which can carry up to 250 pounds of weight.
That'll come in handy.
Yep. So
So, yeah, maybe we could. How many suits of plate mail do we have to?
Yeah. So that side street that you go down, that is where the the marketplace is. It basically kind of runs the north side of the street and the south side of the street.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of smaller shops, kind of places where the ground floor is like a shop, and you can see that there's places for people to live on the second story kind of thing. Now, you can find. Let's see here. There's the types of things you can find here are um, baskets, harnesses, cloth items, tents, food in the form of dried meats, nuts, and dates, grains. There are trinkets, so like little talismans or cheap jewelry and the like. There are rugs. There's a place that sells statues, which look to be either relatively recently sculpted or even stuff that looks to be a lot older, kind of like chipped and damaged and sort of more of a classical styling. There's a place that sells, saddles, saddlebags, and things for horses. There is a silversmith and a gemsmith. There is someone who sells camels, someone who sells horses, and there is a blacksmith. They're banging away at something. You know, there's a variety of shops. You find like about 16 or 18 shops in this area on the street. It's there might be some stuff that you might not be able to find, but it looks like the kind of stuff that you've already been discussing should be things that you can find
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So probably pass by all the dates and interesting stuff, but you mentioned there were tents and shade items, the camels, the saddles, which maybe we could also get a water bladder there, right? They're often made out of leather.
Tent would probably be a good addition to that bag of holding.
Yeah.
as is the water bladder, assuming it fitted there.
Those probably aren't expensive. How much is a camel?
Yeah, that's a good question because we'll need saddles for the camels and provisions for the camels as well.
They pull carts?
Yeah. So for the animal itself, you're probably like you got to understand. You guys show up and everybody turns and kind of looks at you, right? Like it's obvious you're not from here, right? So
Yeah.
Goes up.
Your horses are.
We say we're a friend of the Grand Vizier.
so you're not really sure whether it's probably hit and miss whether the prices you're being offered are the real prices or the prices for the
Tourists.
the fool outlanders who don't know any better kind of thing.
Hey, John,
Yes.
I might be the person to talk to for the party as I have a wanderer skill. It's
Yes.
part of my special benefits. A wanderer basically has better, I guess, feel and look with different people from different regions. I might be able to get a better skill for everyone, especially
Sure.
with the charisma that I hold.
Is that based on charisma?
Not entirely, it seems.
Because if it is, I do have a spell that could help you on that.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Well, couldn't hurt.
Yeah, I'd probably go with it anyway, right? Yeah. Little.
Sure. So let's see here. Guntag, give me a wisdom roll, please.
Of course, then with this spell, they may think that you are some kind of a supernatural being, though.
I don't think they're like
A rock
panicking,
star.
terrified of magic.
Yeah. So
I'm curious.
Roger, Guntag, you think that it may very well that spell might cause more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah.
And you remember the vizier telling you that there were two sects of locals, and you're not really sure about the one sect how they would react to kind of active spell casting and the like if they're
Yeah,
kind
because
of
after reading the spell, I kind of figured that because it kind of makes your eyes glow.
yes. So you're not really sure whether that would be all that helpful.
Yeah, so scratch that.
James, you if anyone does anyone have like haggling or negotiation or bartering or anything like that?
Not this character here.
No.
Nope. Oh, that's a different. Yeah,
Thanks.
don't think I've
And
got that one.
basically,
I do have veterinary, but a couple of us, two of us have veterinary healing skills, so we can at least check out the health of the camels. Right.
What about animal handling? Does anyone have animal handling?
I can speak to animals, but
Of course, we've probably never seen one of these things. I'm just curious. Are these one-humped or two-humped camels?
Does it really matter?
yeah, they all smell the same.
They're going to be weird to us no matter what. I mean, it's like there's some
Graham
mighty
has-
strange horses.
Graham has animal handling. I don't know if it'll
A
extend to
dromedary is a
camels.
dromedary.
I have land-based riding.
I have that as
So-
well.
So here's the thing, Moss, you can negotiate, and between Graham and Jeremiah with their, I guess, and whoever has the veterinary thing, you guys can kind of determine which animals you want to focus on and which ones you want to stay away from.
Does it have to be a camel, though? Can it be a horse or something?
If you opt for it, I'm going to go with the camel myself.
It could be a horse, Roger. The horses that are for sale are more like draft horses, like for pulling.
Okay.
For like like wagons and the
Wagon and
like.
stuff.
Yeah. You don't. You're not really sure whether a horse would be a best choice for an actual distance mount in the environment. Although it probably would be okay for a while. So, how many camels are you looking to buy?
How many are we gonna need? That's a
People are in
question.
the party.
Yeah, how many people?
How many can we
ride
afford?
on a camel?
Well, let's start with asking for 6.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, you will need to be able to. You will need to have land-based riding as a skill to have a chance at riding an unfamiliar animal like this.
How many of us have land-based riding? Because we could double up.
I do not.
The skill.
I have it.
Graham has it.
Nope.
So Jeremiah has it, and Diesel has it.
Vanathor has it.
It's a lot. Wow.
So Island Eye does not.
I do not.
I guess I'm riding behind somebody.
Yeah.
And Gummo does not.
Stuff them in that sack of holding.
Almost too short to ride a camel anyway.
Yosemite Sam on a camel.
Yeah.
So like 6, I guess.
Looks that way.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me, so whoever has veterinary healing can give me a roll in the tower. Whoever has animal handling. Okay. See here.
I do have rope use if anybody needs help tying that rope around the camel.
I'm just waiting for this thing to spit on me. Well,
Animals notoriously spit on people they don't like.
Wait a bit.
See. Well, guys, there's well, we're going to avoid these camels here. They will probably be more trouble than they're worth. So, we can pick camels. These ones will be dog food soon.
okay.
Well, let's look around for some more.
Okay, so you do
Assuming
find 6 camels that between Moss and Graham and Jeremiah and Gummo, you all agree that would be decent.
Nice.
Now, what about the price for these camels? I mean, I'm a bit of a haggler. I don't have the skill, unfortunately, but I have about a 15 charisma. Does anyone beat that?
Not me, for sure. I'm less than half that.
Okay.
Not Graham's
good-
strong suit.
good.
Nope.
Guntag at 16. Just one better.
Join forces.
But if you want to go for it, go for it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try because I have the wanderer skill. Generally, nomadic people like me quite a bit.
Yeah.
I
So
usually get
James,
better.
give me 2d10 in the tower, please, and give yourself a +3 on the roll.
Is there any way I can help
Give
him
me a
on it or
second.
no?
It'll take a second.
Guess not.
You kind of, based on what you've observed, Guntag, you think it's more of a 1-to-1
Okay.
kind of would be better.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Now, John, I also have a magical weapon I probably won't be using. I'm going to see if I can exchange it for a number of gold.
What kind of
Or
weapon?
it's a
So-
scimitar +1.
Okay.
Oh
Or a
man,
scimitar that seems to be, sharper and wings better, etc.
that's just the right kind of weapon for this place, right? That's what they
Could be.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to tout it up.
that's what the guards were using, right? They
Yeah,
had
they had
scimitar.
curved longswords. Yeah.
Look at this wonderful curved sword. It's shinier than the normal sword. I'm sure it would make you the envy of all the women in town.
More trouble than it's worth.
MGTOW?
Moss, the proprietor. Let's see here. Who's is Quatroon is his name. He his eyes light up at the prospect of selling you 6 camels, and he tells you, I have 10 camels. Choose your 6." And
Right,
at that, the 4 of you are able to kind of look them over and sort of figure out which 6 are the best. Um,
Yeah, put these
Uh,
things.
and so he after you've done that, he says, I see that you are fine judges of animals. You've picked the best ones. With the best ones comes the best price, as I'm sure you understand.
Best price as
How-
in lowest price?
no.
That's price for him.
How would you be paying for my best camels?
Oh,
What would you be charging for the
How much
camels?
weighed in silver or gold?
So he tells you for 450 gold, the 6 camels will be yours, along with he would either give you like a riding saddle or a pack saddle um, for each of them.
That seems somewhat reasonable, but
Yeah.
given the fact that we're buying 6 from you all at once, I'm sure that you can lower the price a bit. We're new to this land and new to its customs, but we are going to be trading for some additional sundries as well as tents. We will be spending a lot of money today in the market. Do you have any friends we could talk to? Maybe spread the wealth around, as it were? If you're willing to lower your price a small amount.
I'll
What is-
pull him aside and say maybe you should mention that we're friends of the Grand Vizier.
It can't hurt.
Yeah.
All right, I'll mention the Grand Vizier
Mark.
has sent us as well.
Rakib.
We were spending the night with him. You might get more rain as a result, for good or for better or for worse.
Oh, were
But
you
around
involved?
here,
We've never
Yes,
seen
that's
such a thing.
Oh, well, you're liable to see many wonders. We're here
Yeah.
to
He
resolve.
makes He makes some sort of a sign in front of his face and chest, and looks a little scared. For you, no, a stranger, 400 gold. But
400.
that is as low as Quatroon can go. These are my 6 best camels.
Well, I'll gather the gold.
They
You
may
get
not
the
even spit in your face.
Nice.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that they
Good.
won't.
Good camels. Good camels.
I'm willing to accept that price.
What else do you need to buy here? Perhaps perhaps I can direct you.
Well, I
We
was
need
saying, yeah, we'll need some tents.
Yep.
Maybe
or
some
sun. Shining
clothing
water.
to protect us from the sun, some head wraps,
Saddlebags.
and maybe a guide.
Guide.
Oh,
Guide. Where where would you be going that you need a guide?
Well, we'll be going into the deep desert, I assume.
My
Quite a
goodness.
ways.
Well, Quatroon can help you with this, but first let us conclude our business here for the camels.
Well, I'm going to have to go get the money for you, my friend. I'm going to go talk to the blacksmith. I have some business with him as well.
Ah, Mueller. By all means,
Right.
Mueller's a
Tell
good
him-
man.
Should I tell him you sent me?
Mueller does some work for me from time to time, obviously. Yes.
Great. I'll drop your name. Hopefully, he'll give me a discount. No doubt. All right. I guess I make my way over to the blacksmith and I see if I
Yeah.
can interest him in purchasing said scimitar.
um, and should we get 2 of the saddles as the pack saddles, and then 4 as the riding? Like, it'd be enough to, because we'll have to double up, I think, on some of them, right? Because you have to
Yeah,
have,
I guess so.
yeah. Okay.
So, what kind of a deal can I make for this scimitar, John? Or should we go in the sidebar and I'll barter with you?
Yeah, you know what? We're getting close to the end for tonight, so if anyone wants to drop off, you don't feel bad about it. But yeah, James, let's go to the sidebar for a couple of seconds here.
Okay.
Well, I'm probably going to have to cut out. Thanks for the game tonight, guys.
I'll
Enjoyed it.
rustle up some money, everyone.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Knock 'em dead. Yep.
Do we have enough money for all those camels?
I don't know. Guntalk needs to get a morning star first before he commits any money. Good night, everyone.
Oh, okay. We're done. Oops, had to pop out. Okay, I guess we're gonna raid. Thanks for hanging in, Nixa. Oh, they're in sidebar.